Hi there. If you're on a real estate team and you've been using a whole bunch of tools to manage different parts of your team's business, I'm very excited to show you today a template that I've created within Notion, which helps you organize, streamline, simplify every part of your business within one tool. So it's called the Ultimate Agent Hub, and this one is made specifically for teams and brokerages. First of all, you have a menu of all of the dashboards that you have within this template. You also have a home dashboard here that shows you what you should be prioritizing today. So you have the tasks that are due today. So anything that you had scheduled to be due today or prior to today. And then you also have any tasks that are due in the next 7 days. You'll notice that in pretty much every part of this workspace, things are separated by agent so that you can easily see what has been assigned to each agent in your team. And then also, if you wanted to just view the items that are pertaining to you, you could also do that. Each agent could create a view that shows only what's been assigned to them and doesn't show them what's been assigned to other agents on the team. You can use filters in order to achieve that. You would simply add a filter here that includes only assigned to me. So if I do assigned to me, it'll only display the tasks that are assigned to the agent logged in. Okay. So also on your home dashboard, you have a space to see who you need to follow up with today. So you know exactly what you need to prioritize as a team and as an agent by looking at this homepage. You don't need to go into all of these other dashboards from the get-go in the morning. You can look at this and see what needs to be done today. You can also pull this up on your phone. Notion has the smartphone app, so you can take a look at this on your phone in the morning without even having to get onto your computer. Okay? So here are the follow-ups that need to be done today as well. They're also separated by agent, and you can also filter this, just like I showed for the tasks, to show only the follow-ups assigned to me as a real estate agent. Okay? And then at the bottom here, you have an overview of what active listings your team currently has for sale. So anything that is currently live listed for sale will appear here. So they have a quick overview of what listings you have, and then teams pending listings as well. So anything that has the status of pre-list or sale under contract, those I would consider pending listings and sale. So those will appear here, but you can edit these filters to display whatever property statuses you would like to display in this section as a team. Okay. Now, if I go into all of these team dashboards, so you'll see more in detail how we can organize all of our information in Notion for a real estate team. We have a buyer CRM and a seller CRM, but you also have the all client database, which is essentially all your buyers and sellers in one database. If you wanted to see them separately, you can go into the buyer CRM and the seller CRM. But if you wanted to see all of them, I would just go into the all client database. So I'll go into the buyer CRM first, just to show you what it looks like. So buyer CRM are filtered to show only our buyers and our tenants. And then the seller CRM would display all of our sellers and our landlords. Okay, so I'll show you one of these examples. If I go into Dwayne Johnson's page here, I can open it in full view or in center peak, whatever I like, and open it in the center here. And just to show you all the different pieces of information that we can add here in Notion, these are called properties. So all of the properties here are ones that we can add. And you can add any additional ones, of course. Like the power of Notion is how customizable it is. So you can literally edit this however you need it to be for your own business, for your own needs, your own clients, your own team, whatever your preferences are, you can adapt this to your needs. So first of all, I need to categorize, is this a buyer or a seller? So that's where that goes. Who is this assigned to? So here I have a team of just 2 people. So just for this example, I just have myself here, and then I also have my other account, which is the other team member here. So you can add multiple assigned agents. You can change the agent that you'd like to assign this buyer to, and then that person's account, so that agent's account will be able to view what is assigned to them very easily by using filtered views of this database. You can add the source of the lead. This will be really useful when you're doing reviews of your year or of your quarter to see where most of your leads are coming from and where you might want to focus more of your attention when doing your lead generation as a team. Status. So of course we have multiple statuses here. When it's just a lead, you'll have new lead, hot lead, warm lead, nurture. When it's in progress, so once this person has become a client, you have multiple different statuses here. And then once it's complete, you have multiple statuses that you can choose here. So in this case, my buyer is actively searching. We can input his email, his phone number, and you can actually click on these little buttons here to send an email and call the person. It'll just direct you to whatever email provider you use as a default on your computer. And then this will call as well if I do that. See, for me, it calls on FaceTime, but it may call from whatever provider you have on your computer. So this property here is super important. Next follow-up, because this is what's going to dictate when it appears on your front page there. So as I work with this client, I am going to have multiple touch points with this person, and I'm going to want to always have this date updated. So let's say this client is actively searching. Maybe I've just set him up on a search on MLS, and I want to follow up with him in a few days to check if there's anything that's come up on the market that matches his criteria that we might want to go visit this weekend. So next follow-up, I'm going to put Wednesday so that we can prepare for the upcoming weekend so that we can go visit some properties together. So next follow-up will be June 14. And then when that date comes, I'll see Dwayne Johnson's name pop up on my home dashboard as someone that I need to follow up with that day. So it's super easy and you don't need to remember who you need to follow up with. It'll automatically show up on your homepage through updating these dates as you work with a client. You can add any family members here. So sometimes you want to have multiple people's information in one CRM entry. So you can put that here. You can put his date of birth. I don't know what his actual birthday is, but I'm just going to put this as an example. So date of birth, I've created a formula here that automatically populates how old he is, as well as what his next birthday is. So you don't need to touch these. These are automatic formulas that calculate these things for you. Property address. So if you have a seller, you would have a property address to work with from the get-go, right? So you would input a property address here. When you're working with this buyer, obviously you don't have a property address at the beginning, but once you do have an offer accepted on the property, you can add that property address here so that it directly connects with the property page, which I'll show you in a second. You can input what type of property this person is looking for. So you have multiple options here. You also have the list price or budget. So depending on, again, whether it's a seller or a buyer, you can input that information there. Number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, neighborhood. So these things are like, what is my client looking for as a buyer? If you're working with seller, again, you can also input that there. Timeline, a property where you can give a general idea of when this client is looking to purchase or sell a property. And then contacts involved. So here is where I can input what other professionals are working on this deal with us. So if there's a lawyer, if there's a mortgage broker, if there is a contractor of some sort, you can add those people here so that they're all connected to this page as well. And I can go in, let's say I want to click on this contact here. She's a real estate lawyer, so I have her information there. I can input her phone number, the company she works for, and her email. And if you work with Laura Grant, for example, this is an example person, but if you work with this person on multiple different deals and with multiple different clients, you can have this page connect to all of those other clients that you've worked with her on. So like, for example, as you can see here, Laura Grant has a relation property here. This is what we call the relation property because it relates it to another database and it's connected to Dwayne Johnson's page. If I had worked with this real estate lawyer with multiple different clients, they would all appear here. So I can see at a glance which of my clients Laura Grant has worked with. Okay, now I'm going to go back. All right. the seller CRM, so customer relationship manager, to keep track of all your team's current, past, and future seller leads. So these are the same. It's just that these are filtered to view only the sellers. And then here again, I have all my active listings on my seller CRM page. Okay. Next, I have my all client database, which shows all of my clients. So both my buyers and my sellers would be included on this page. Next, my transaction manager. So this is where all of the addresses live. So all of those addresses that we had inputted into our clients' pages live in this database here. Okay, so as you can see, we have all the property addresses that we are working with here. I've also created a tab that shows you only the properties that are assigned to you as the agent logged into the page. So in this database, we have a transaction address, the related client. So again, this connects to that other database, the CRM database. And we're just going to open one here so it's easier to see. So all of these properties are the ones that you will also see along the horizontal line here. Okay. But with these different views here, you have the ability to select which properties you actually want to see in each of the views, because you may not want or need to see all of these properties when you look at the table view here. But if I open the page up, then I will definitely see all the properties that exist in this database. So under this property address, 1313 Mockingbird Lane, related client, of course, again, the status, which is being pulled from the other database. So this is called a roll-up property. So the roll-up is retrieving the status property from the related client. So related client is George Clooney, and then George Clooney's status is sale, closed, and paid. So you can't actually change this because it needs to be changed through George Clooney's page. Client type as well is being retrieved through George Clooney's page. As you can see, it's a roll-up property here. Assigned agent, so I am the assigned agent in this case. Firm sale price, commission, my split. So let's say you have a firm sale price of $800,000. Your commission on that sale is 3%. And then agent split here would be 70% as an example. And then net commission is calculated by multiplying firm sale price times the commission percentage times the agent split percentage. And so I can show you how that's done here. So commission times firm sale price times agent split. So I've put that formula in there so that you don't need to calculate it yourself. It automatically populates when we input these numbers here. Date sold firm. You can input what date it was sold firm. You can input your closing date. Gross commission is the commission before splits. And then here, you have the option of putting a GCI goal, right? So this could be like a GCI goal for the entire team, for example. So let's say my goal, I don't know, $5 million. So if my goal, for example, is $5 million for the team as a GCI goal, so gross commission income goal for the year, you can add that here. So this is the 5 million here, and then ground. So how much is this gross commission, this particular gross commission from this sale contributing to your GCI goal for the year? So in this case, this gross commission is contributing 0.48% to my overall GCI goal for the year as a team. Okay. And then we have a little section here that just shows the team properties that were sold firm this year. So you have a little glance of everything that you've accomplished and managed to sell this year. Next, we have your business section. So this is where we have our social media planner, our task manager, business operations. So I'll go through these one at a time, just briefly. So your social media planner is where you would organize all of your team social media posts. I have also created another section, which is for the individual agent's social media posts, because I know that often you'll have a team or brokerage page where you put social media posts there, and then each individual agent may also be creating social media content for their own personal page. So you have two social media planners which are separated, but this one would be for the team, for everyone to be able to collaborate on this page. So you have the Kanban board here, where you have each status in the different column. So you can input your own ideas here, but I've put a few here just to get you started. So you have your idea, scripting, creating or filming, editing, done, and posted. And then you can also view these in a table view like this, where the status is here, the social platform that you want to be posting to, and the post date. You can see the ones that are only assigned to me. So let's say 5 things not to do when buying a home. If I assign this to myself, as if I'm the one that's responsible of creating this post and then I assigned it to me, I will see that one here. So it's pretty cool that you can filter things in that way, where the person viewing the content planner is going to be able to see exactly what is assigned to them and what they need to be working on in terms of content by platform. So these are just separated into which post is going to be going to which platform. And then I put the calendar view down here. So this is where you would actually see, like, if I had put that this piece of content needs to be posted on Friday, I would see it appear on my content calendar here. That gets automatically populated as you create content ideas in your board here. You can also keep hashtag groups that you use for different types of content. So if you have a specific group of hashtags they use for house tours, another group of hashtags for local highlight content, and then another group of hashtags for educational posts. You can just keep those there so that you can easily refer back to them and just copy paste them into your contents. And then your social links. So you can link to all of your social channels here so that they're easily accessible right from your Notion workspace. Finally, I have a page where you can keep all of your brand assets. So any graphics or designs that you use regularly in your business. So if I click on one of these here, just as an example, if this is my logo, I can keep that logo right here. I can download it. I can upload any new things on this page. You can just go here and then download that file. You can also categorize them, right? So if I look here, I have asset type is a logo. They could be several things, right? Those could be just a social banners. And then that way, if you want to just view your logos, just view your images, I've created little tabs here where you can just view your logos, just view your images, etc. And then your brand principles are also super important to always keep in mind. So I put that there. So this is really just like a branding page, right? So like, what are your brand assets? What are your brand principles? And then you can refer to those easily whenever you need to. All right. And go back here. Your task manager. So your task manager can include any tasks that you have in your business. They can be connected to a specific client, or they can have to do with a specific goal or just a random task that lives on its own. Here you'll see all of your tasks. You'll see which client they're related to. So if I need to do specific things for specific clients, I have them all here. I can assign a priority level to them. So medium, high, low. I can assign a deadline in order for that task to appear in my home dashboard on that given date or as that date is coming up. I can assign a goal. So if there's a goal that I have that incorporates several different tasks, I can relate it to that goal. I can assign it to someone on my team. So whichever agent I would like to assign that task to, we can do that there. And then they have a status, of course. So it could be to do, in progress, done, or on hold. And then again, here you have a tab where you'll see only the tasks that are assigned to you as an agent. So whoever is logged into their account will see the tasks that are assigned to them. You can view them by status, by priority. You can see a timeline where you can actually see this as a quarter, a year, a month, bi-weekly, weekly, etc. And then, of course, the calendar view, which shows you a monthly view of your tasks. All right. Next, we have a business operations page. So this is where you can keep all of the important information for your team, kind of like a wiki of your team or your brokerage's business information. So you have a space to input your mission, your vision, and your values. You also have a section to input any standard operating procedures so that anyone that you're maybe onboarding to your team or your brokerage can easily access this information and learn how things are done just by reading these standard procedures that you have in your business. So you have different pages here. You can create your own pages for any different procedures or standard systems that you have in your business. So if I click on this page, it's literally just a blank page where you can input all of that information. So these are for you to fill out email templates. So I also have here a table of different standard emails that we use in our team or our brokerage. And all members of the team can refer to these standard emails so that they already have the standard ways that you and your team use to write certain types of emails to your clients or to professionals that you work with. Brokerage and agent directory, so I can keep information for other professionals that I work with within the brokerage or other agents that I collaborate with or do business with. So you have all the names, information, and just contact information here. And then this also links to that same brand asset and principles that we were looking at. Okay. Now, productivity. So in productivity, we have the goal tracker. We always encourage to make SMART goals, so specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So you want to create those goals and input them here. So if you have goals for your team, you can put them there. And then it'll automatically calculate how many days are remaining before this goal is due. So if you have a goal to accomplish by the end of the year, so by December 31st, you'd put that date here, and then this would be calculated with a formula that I inputted into this template. Okay. This is a little gallery of the goals that you've achieved. And then this is the full list here. So they're basically these goals, but in a table view instead of having them in the board view like this. And then within each of these goals, you may also have related tasks, right? So for example, I'm just going to go into this one here. Okay. So the rebrand of our real estate team. So if we have multiple different tasks that go into the rebrand, you can keep them all here. These will live in your task database, which we were looking at a few minutes ago. So within the rebrand of our real estate team goal, we have create a new website, rebrand, brainstorm, pick a new brand name, identify ideal client persona. So once we have completed all of these different tasks, we can say that we've achieved our goal. And then this is a roll-up property, which calculates how many of these tasks have the status of complete. So if I go into this task, for example, create new website, the status is done. And so the idea here is how many of these tasks have that status. If maybe create a new website isn't done yet, for example, I'll change that to in progress, and then I'll see that the percentage of tasks complete within this goal is now 75%. So there's one task out of the 4 that we haven't completed. All right, we're getting there. Team meeting notes is a space or a database where you can keep all of your meeting notes. So if you have a weekly meeting, for example, you can actually create a recurring meeting note by doing this here. So repeat every week, every 2 weeks, whatever it is. That's how you would create the recurring feature. So repeat, and then you would select every 1 week, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, whatever. And then what day of the week you want it to appear there, so that then on the day of your meeting, you can go in and take some notes about what's been discussed, and you'll get an automatic table of contents here as well based on the titles of these topics. And then you can jump to that spot in your meeting notes. I've also put a block here where you can use Notion AI to create a summary of your meeting notes, which is kind of cool. So summarize the real estate team meeting notes contained on this page with AI. So when you click generate, it'll create a little summary of all the notes that you have on this page. Okay. All right. Next, notes to share. This is just a space where you can put cool articles that you found, any notes or thoughts that you just want to jot down and throw in there, maybe to discuss for your next meeting. But this is just a catch-all space where you and your team can gather pieces of information that you want to share with the rest of your team. Okay, getting close. So the digital Rolodex is essentially what we were linking to within our client database. So the client may have different professionals or trades that they're working with within their transaction. So all of those people live in here. So we had Laura Grant that we were looking at before, real estate lawyer. So they all have their separate little section. And then we have a table of contents to quickly access that spot on the page. So if I'm just looking for my electricians, I can click that. It'll take me right to the electricians that I have on my page. And what's cool here is that I can share this information with my clients. So if my client is looking for a plumber, I can easily share this information with them. I can actually open this up and just click share and share this specific page with my client, or even export this as a PDF file so that I can send over to my client. Next, we have kind words. So this is where you would keep all of your team's great comments or testimonials. You can create social posts based on this. Whenever any of the team members receives a great comment, I would input this into this database so that you can refer to it in the future. So let's say I click on one of these. Okay. You have been truly amazing. Thank you. So this was just something that someone sent me in an email message. Agents mentioned. So whoever was mentioned in this comment, the date of the testimonial, and the source's name. And then same here, right? So you have who's been mentioned. I'm going to put Jessica's. That way I can click on this tab here, and any agent who's logged in will be able to see which testimonials mentioned that agent, which is a really nice confidence booster when you can see what great things clients are saying about you. All right, that's it. The last thing I'd like to bring your attention to is the personal dashboards here. So all of these other dashboards are meant to be shared with all agents within your business. But I have a few personal dashboards which each agent can duplicate into their own workspace because they are just a collection of information that maybe is more personal and isn't information that you want to be sharing with the entire Teams workspace. It's just stuff that you want to keep in your own private Notion workspace. So I'll just briefly touch on these here. Just a few personal pages. So your habit tracker, your reading tracker, a personal brain dump, an expense tracker, social media planner. So these are just your personal pages as an agent. So each agent on the team can duplicate these pages into their private workspace and use these as they wish. So I'm just going to show you briefly. The habit tracker has all of your personal habits here. And then let's say I create a new one for today. I have all of my habits here and then I can check them off, right? But also they will appear the front page of my personal dashboard. So daily habit checklist, and then all of my habits appear here. So if I check them off here, they also get checked off in the complete database of all of my days. And then I can see how many of the days am I actually completing my habits. So 1 out of 2 days, I've completed my workouts, etc. And then you can add your own habits, whatever you want. So these are just for you to fill out and keep track of your daily habits. Okay, so I've worked out, I've meditated, I've done my lead generation, I've followed up with my leads, I've had some healthy meals, I've had 3 liters of water, etc. Okay, and then every day, this only shows you today's page. So if I were to delete this, I can also click on new day here instead, and it'll generate a new day for me here. Reading tracker. So this is where you can keep all of the great books that you're reading and learning from. You can give them a review. You can write any notes about them, anything that you've learned from this book, and refer to it again in the future. You can keep a personal brain dump. So again, this is kind of like the other page that we had for the agents, but for personal use. An expense tracker. So obviously this is super helpful for end of year tax remittance. So you can categorize all of your expenses by category, which is really important when you're going to be doing your taxes at the end of the year. So you have a full database of all of your expenses, and then they get categorized automatically into different sections here, as long as you pick the right category here. Okay. Finally, you have your personal social media planner, as I was mentioning before. If you have your team page and then you also have a personal page as an individual agent, then you can plan your own content for your own personal page here. It is the same idea as the Teams one, but you can keep both separate. Okay? So that completes the walkthrough for your hub. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I am selling this template, so you'll find a link to that down below. Been helping other agents so much with their business. Feels super organized. You don't need to look in all sorts of different places. I know that everything is right here, and my team members and I can access it at any time. I do make videos every week about optimizing your Notion workspace and getting more organized. So please subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Jess, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.